Good evening. Everyone knows that our President's meeting has just ended. It was attended by two representatives of the American President, Donald Trump. Steve White, as you know, and Jared Kushner. The conversation was very useful, constructive, and very informative. It lasted not 5 minutes, but 5 hours. We had the opportunity to discuss the prospects of full joint work on achieving a long-term, peaceful settlement of the Ukrainian crisis. We discussed with our American colleagues the content of the documents that the Americans had sent to Moscow some time ago. We did not discuss specific drafts or specific American proposals, but discussed the essence of what was laid down in these American documents, what we could agree on, and the President confirmed this to his counterparts. We had some criticism, and the President did not hide our critical and even negative attitude to a number of proposals. But the main thing is that it was a very useful discussion, and the main thing I would like to emphasize once again is that the parties announced their readiness to continue joint work on achieving a long-term, peaceful settlement in Ukraine. We discussed specific territorial problems, without which we do not see a solution to the crisis. Of course, we discussed the great prospects of future economic cooperation between the two countries. By the way, we talked a lot about this at previous meetings, but now it was emphasized that if we really want to cooperate, and there is a great opportunity for this, then we need to show a real aspiration for this, both in Moscow and in Washington. In general, it was a very useful and good conversation, and of course it began with the fact that Trump's representatives conveyed their best regards and best wishes to President Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, and in turn our President asked his partners to convey his best regards to Trump. He conveyed not only best regards, but also asked them to convey a number of important political signals that his interlocutors recorded and reported to Washington. Something like this. May I ask a question, please? Yes, in general, what signals did Russia send to the United States? And do you plan to meet with Vladimir Putin in the future? We agreed that representatives, assistants, and other officials will continue contacts with the Americans, particularly with the two people who came to the Kremlin today. As for a possible meeting at the presidential level, it will depend on what progress we are able to achieve along this path and how persistently we work at the level of assistants and representatives of various kinds. There is news about Donetsk. Initially, some 28 items of this Trump plan were changed. Then it was reported about their reduction and changes. How much of this list has been preserved, and how many items can be discussed? If the question is only about the items, then there was a document that contained 27 items. It was given to us, and we got acquainted with it, although we did not work on the drafts, and there were no discussions with American colleagues on this matter. Then we received a few more documents, 4 documents, that were also discussed today at the meeting of our president with Witkoff and Kushner. Is this a real issue? I named it among the issues that were discussed. It is, of course, the most important for us and for the Americans too. In what way was it discussed? Was there any compromise? So far, no compromise has been found, but some American developments look more or less acceptable, though they need to be discussed. Some of the drafts that were proposed to us suit us. Work will continue. But this is truly one of the most important issues. What did you agree on regarding the party? We agreed with American colleagues that we would not reveal the essence of the negotiations. This is quite logical. The negotiations were completely closed and confidential. As far as I know, American colleagues have now gone to the embassy, from where they will depart for Washington. They will personally report to President Trump what they discussed with President Putin in the Kremlin. Will they go to Kyiv? They did not promise us that they would go to Kyiv. They promised that they would return home to Washington. Kushner is a new face in the negotiations. He, together with Witkoff, worked very hard in the Middle East, as you know, and achievements in the Caucasus were the work not only of Witkoff and other U.S. representatives, but also of the state, of course. And now, some time ago, he joined the Russian, American, and Ukrainian dossiers. And as far as I understand, he is actively participating in preparing the documents that were given to us. Can you tell us in more detail about the plan to release the last transferer, and that Moscow handed over 4 more documents? What are these documents? I cannot tell you the essence of these documents. As I said, they all concern the long-term peaceful settlement of the crisis in Ukraine.
Наш президент, естественно, дал оценку тем деструктивным действиям, которые в контексте регулирования мы видим со стороны европейцев. Ну, примерно так.
Как вы считаете, по итогам переговоров ближе стоит к миру или дальше?
Не дальше, это точно. Не дальше, это точно. Но предстоит еще большая работа, как в Вашингтоне, так и в Москве. Условлено об этом, и контакты будут продолжены, как я сказал. Вернутся коллеги домой, обсудят те вопросы, которые сегодня затрагивались, и затем, как я полагаю, они выйдут на нас по телефону, и мы продолжим обсуждение.